Hello, and welcome back to another little women's health tidbit today. I want to share and talk to you about that dreaded afternoon energy crash that so many women experience. This is a big one for me because I also used to struggle with this so bad, that afternoon energy slump. Like, I would actually have to stop my day and take a nap from time to time. And I'm sure that many of you can relate to this feeling. Sometimes we get this feeling right after eating lunch, and sometimes it's like a few hours after. But usually, this afternoon slump hits somewhere between that like 2 and 4 mark in the afternoon. Now, the number one reason for this crash in energy comes back to your hormones and stress on your body. But more specifically, blood sugar, insulin, and cortisol balance. Now, remember, there's more to hormones than just the sex hormones that we think of. The base level hormones, insulin and cortisol, are arguably the most important ones. And when I'm talking about blood sugar issues, I'm not necessarily referring to things like diabetes and prediabetes. If you are diagnosed with those conditions, blood sugar imbalances, insulin resistance has been taking place for a much longer period of time. So to break this down for you in a simple way, the food we eat is going to impact the amount of sugar that is released into our bloodstream and how rapidly that gets released. This is a huge piece to your health because when blood sugar and insulin are out of balance, nothing else can be regulated. It literally puts the brakes on all other health concerns, including balancing your hormones and becoming more resilient to external stressors. This happens because insulin imbalances and blood sugar dysregulation is an internal stressor on the body, meaning it's going to spike stress hormones as well. And this adds to your chronic stress load, which is triggering inflammation, digestion, sex hormone imbalances, the whole kit and caboodle. Now, the actual fatigue you are feeling is going to be from a rapid spike or drop in your blood sugar. Usually, if you get the fatigue or the crash right after eating the meal, it's a sign of high blood sugar. So maybe you ate a meal that was full of simple carbs, highly processed, lacking nutrients, or lacking a balance of protein, fat, and fiber. And when we feel the fatigue that comes a few hours after eating, it's usually more connected to a drop in blood sugar or a blood sugar low. This is when we get the things like the fatigue, the hunger, the irritability, we feel anxious. Sometimes we kind of get like spacey or lightheaded. And most likely, we have cravings here as well. Now, there's a few different reasons for blood sugar dysregulation, but more often than not, it comes down to either not eating enough, not eating enough real nutrients, so that highly processed, simple carb, empty calorie concept, not eating in a balanced way, or leaving too long between feedings, and of course, unmanaged stress plays a huge role into this. They kind of work in a vicious cycle. So these ups and downs in your blood sugar often kind of work like a roller coaster. So blood sugar drops, stressor on the body, stress is increased. We get the cravings, we eat the sweets, the chocolate, the cakes, the cookies, the takeout. Now, because we ate those things, the blood sugar is going to spike. Also, stressor on the body, and what goes up must come down. Now we're just in this constant spiral of not only blood sugar and insulin, but this roller coaster is also consistently spiking your internal stress response. So on top of the symptoms that you feel and the energy crash that you're feeling and the brain fog, your body is also highly stressed on an internal level, making life stressors that much harder to deal with. If we're stressed internally, we don't have external resilience, right? And this is leaving you with the brain fog, the hanger, the irritability, the energy crashes, the poor sleep, the waking up between 2 and 4 in the morning, the chronic headaches, the cravings, the weight loss resistance, the hormonal imbalances. So to have balanced hormones, to have more energy, to have better brain cognition, to have restful sleeps, to simply feel good in your body again, we have to address this pillar of blood sugar and insulin balance. It is one of the building blocks to becoming a nourished and happy woman. If you are feeling chronically stressed, we have to look at those internal stressors of blood sugar and insulin. Let's reduce the stress we can on your body. And the best part is that we can do wonderful things for blood sugar and insulin simply by adjusting nutritional habits. actually the number one way to support blood sugar is through nutrition. This really is the main starting point for overcoming your imbalances. It's the base level of your pyramid to women's health and hormone balance. If you want to be that high performing woman who feels energized, relaxed, clear minded, light in her body, who has minimal hormonal symptoms and can handle external stressors without hitting burnout, then using nutrition to stabilize your blood sugar levels and stabilize your internal stress response and support your overall metabolism is going to be very, very needed. Not only to fix the energy crash that you're feeling in the afternoon, but also to literally improve every other area of your health. Now, I have an online program called the Real Food Reset. And the very first thing I take you through in this program is teaching you how to eat in a way that will help to stabilize this for your body. Because remember, we are all a bit different. The program also goes into detail about using foods for women's health. And then because I also fully believe in keeping nutrition simple and realistic, even for the busiest of families, I also have a whole section in there around simplicity in the kitchen, making it doable. And we go into meal prepping, meal planning, eating out, eating on the go, grocery shopping on a budget, and so on. If you are getting these blood sugar symptoms, this afternoon slump consistently, this is the place I strongly, strongly recommend you begin. We have to learn to use food as our fuel and keep a balanced amount of that fuel in our tank so our bodies can operate optimally. That way we can reduce the stress happening internally and, like I said, become more resilient to that external stress without hitting burnout. If this resonates with you guys, I would love to hear from you. Leave me a comment, send me a message. You guys know the drill.